Check it out, guys, I am back because I can't really sleep. It's almost 2 AM here on Saturday night. I guess it's Sunday morning now, and something that I've heard people talk about a lot, and I thought I'd clarify a few things if anyone out there is interested at all. But that's power adapters. Here's a whole bunch of them, and how many milliamps, how much current do your pedals take? So I'm going to put these things down. Kind of heavy. So I've got a lot of dodgy little power supplies, and some of them work, some of them buzz and all that sort of thing, but that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about how much do I need. So for example, I pick up one of these. This is a TC Electronic one for my, TC Helicon, sorry, for my vocal pedal. This is rated at an output of 400 milliamp, or 0.4 of an amp, which is pretty powerful there. I've got a bunch of different ones here. Here's a switch mode power supply. So these don't have a transformer in them per se. And this is, I don't know if that'll focus there. Hopefully it will. Focus. Focus. This is a 1100 milliamp, or 1.1 amp. This is huge. I can't imagine what you'd ever need that much power for. And if you did, I wouldn't be hooking up all my pedals to just this one thing. But anyway, so here's another one here. This one I modified, so it's negative center. Got this for like 20 bucks on sale. It's pretty good, pretty quiet. This is, what is this thing? This is 600 milliamp. So why are we talking about milliamps and that sort of thing? Well, each pedal is rated current draw. Current's measured in amps, and they're measured actually in milliamps. It's quite small. And I was thinking about this. A lot of people get kind of paranoid. Am I overloading my power supply and whatnot? So I put together just a little pictorial of how much current draw a few different kind of pedals would take, and just so you guys know what you're getting yourself into when you're sort of connecting all your pedals up to one power supply. Are you going to overload it? And if you do, you'll probably just get really, really hot, and then worst case scenario, the power supply will just burn out and not work. Nothing really all that bad should really happen. It might smell a bit of a burning smell and that sort of thing, but most of them have got some type of circuit protection in them these days. But anyway, the main idea here, so I don't ramble on too much, is how many can I possibly hook up before I'm going to, ruin my power supply, damage other things? Well, pedals really don't take that much power at all. The only ones that really do is if you get things like this thing. I mean, we're not talking about these multi-effects. These things are power-hungry hogs, which is why they generally come with their own power supply, and they generally you'd only use the one with wood daisy chain, things like it. So we're just talking about individual pedals, and there's two train of thought, I guess, to think about when you're connecting up your pedals, and especially if you're going to get into building pedals. Now, when you plug a pedal in, it's actually always on. The bypass switch, that's all it does, it just bypasses the effect. You're going to have a current rating of what that effect is when it's off, bypass I should really say, and then when it's on. And why I'm saying this is because when it's on, you're going to put in the status LED. So if you get into boutique pedals and you want a really bright, like blue or violet LED, something like that, that's going to take a lot of current in comparison to what the pedal would actually take from the power supply. So keep that in mind when you're out there building pedals. Do you really need something that bright? Do you really need ultra high brightness status LEDs in your pedals? Personally, I just think that's a silly idea. Silly idea to put something in that bright anyway. All they do is when you look at your pedal board, they blind you in the eyes and so forth. So most of my pedals don't have anything that bright on them, but many different coloured LEDs. And I always put on quite a large current limiting resistor to make sure that they're not super bright. But you can tell if they're on in the daytime or if you're on dark stage. So just keep that in mind. You're going to have two different readings, but we're mainly concerned with when the pedal is active. And so let's call it turned on, you hit the switch, how much current you're actually drawing from it. So let's go through a couple pictures here and you'll see how much you're going to draw from it there. So take into account all of those pedals, every single one. If we add up all of those, just so we have them all into a chain, we're using the one power supply, we're just using one of these sort of one spot, I guess is what people kind of call them these days, which is wrong because that's a brand. But anyway, how much current will they all take? Well, here it is. It's just over 100 milliamp. It's not enough to damage your power supply. If you've got one of those old Boss sort of 200 milliamp power supplies, that is fine. That will drive all these pedals without a problem. The only thing that really concerns me is when you're using individual stomp boxes like delays and reverbs, some modulations, they tend to be quite power hungry. Got a lot of ICs in there and that sort of thing, and they're a little bit power hungry. So keep in mind that some individual pedals will draw up to 100 milliamp, maybe a little bit more, and which is why I think it's a good idea to have just a strong power supply, or more than one, that sort of thing, or a dedicated power supply like the what does Dunlop make, the DC Brick, things like that, or the Voodoo Labs one, something like that, just so you can drive your pedals nice and clean and you don't have to worry about overloading them, that sort of thing. But guys, anyway, I hope this is helpful for some people out there who are wondering how much current pedals actually take. It's not a great deal, so don't be too paranoid with the power supplies you're using. As long as your rating is, give it about 20% above what you're going to use when you add all your pedals together with your maximum rating of your milliamps, and you'll be fine and good to go. So guys, thanks for checking it out, and catch you later.